What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I would want to apologize. I've not been so active on YouTube of late based off of some certain things. So I've been trying to how would I put it? I've been trying to create or build my track record. I've been trying to build a track record for myself, and I literally should I say I literally lost a huge account in regards to prop firm. So I've been actively trying to build a track record for myself and trying to surpass all of those things. So I've been getting quite a few messages on Instagram, people wanting to know my perspective on how I look at the market, the kind of trades I like taking, my type A setups, my type B setups, and my type C setups. So in today's video, I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown on how I look at the market, my perspective on how I analyze the market, what I look out for whenever I come into a trade, for example, what I look out for on that particular chart for me to take a trade, how I look at the market, my main analysis, altogether my strategy on how I analyze the market. So in today's video, I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown on how I do all of these things so you guys can actually learn. So I'm not really on YouTube to post trades, post profits, post losses. I'm just going to give you guys educational content that I feel might be useful to some people, not everybody, because I'm not saying I know how to trade more than people, but who makes the most money knows how to trade. So I'm just going to give you guys what works for me and hope you guys learn from it. So let's go. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you guys how I analyze my charts, how I plot out my analysis, my markups, and try to take possible trades on different currency pairs. So we'll be looking at Euro NZD. This is like an analysis on Euro NZD I did, and I literally shared the trades with my Telegram members, the Telegram community. I shared this particular trades with them the before and now the updates on how the trade is playing. So I would have to delete all of this. So looking at AUD NZD, AUD NZD have been in a downtrend for quite some time now. It's been coming to the downside, and I literally trade supply and demand. I'm a supply and demand trader alongside smart money concepts. AUD NZD has been on a serious downtrend. It's been coming all the way to the downside, creating lower high, lower low, coming all the way to the downside, all the way to the downside, all the way to the downside. Then something literally happened here. We saw that price broke these highs. Price literally broke this highs, this supply zone. So I'll call this my break of structure. Trading the smart money concept kind of principle. I'll call this my break of structure because price literally broke this high. If price didn't actually break this high, I'll be looking to take a short from this particular supply zone based off of the fact that the market is on a serious downtrend. So I'll be looking to take a sell, but there's no confirmation to actually take a sell because there was no inducement. Although there was an imbalance here, price did create an imbalance here. before the supply zone, but there was no inducement before the supply zone, so there was literally no confirmation for me to actually take a sell on this trade. So I had to like wait for the market to play around the zone, either break the zone or come all the way to the downside. And I'll be looking out for possible confirmation, which is like the lower time frame entry for me to jump in on the sell. But what is the market do? The market literally broke the structure. So this actually confirmed my bias that okay, the market is pulling to the upside. So what we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be looking out for possible buys in the market. Some people, like I literally have been having like quite a few messages on how to identify the particular demand zone, how to identify the particular supply zone you're going to take a particular trade off of. You get so on seeing price breaking this highs, I would want to scale all the way down to my demand zone, mark all of my demand zone. Then before marking out your demand zone, you want to know the principle on the types of supply and demand. We have like the rally based rally, drop based drop, rally based drop, drop based rally. So this is actually like a rally based rally. What do we do on this type of scenario? We want to take our trade off of the base. We want to take our trade off of the base. So we're waiting for price to come all the way to the downside. Price to drop all the way to the downside, mitigate on our base, then up we go. Up we go. That's literally what we would literally be waiting for before taking our trades. Before taking a trade on a trade before taking a trade that's going all the way to the upside. So we literally want to be like taking our trade from the base. In a downtrend, we want to like take our trade from the base. So we consider every pullback. We consider like a pullback. We consider them to be our base. This is definitely going to be our base where the market starts rallying to the upside, breaking the structure. This is going to be like our base for us to take a long position on. Then judging from how this chart looks like, we're seeing that this is literally like a reversal pattern. The market has reversed to the upside. The market was in a downtrend. You can see the market was in a downtrend. Then the market came here, broke the structure, broke this eyes, and we knew. I literally came to my chart and I knew that the market had reversed to the upside. So we want to like look for possible buys on which we can take the market all the way from the downside all the way to the upside. So what did I do? I came all the way to my zone. I came all the way to the downside. The actual demand, which is the initial demand on the downside, initial demand at the downside that caused the break of this particular structure. So this was actually the previous low. This was the low that rallied all the way to the upside, causing the break of this particular structure. So I want to like mark out this low, then wait for price to get all the way to come all the way to this particular low. But I want to also see like an inducement before the demand zone or the supply zone because I'm not going to just buy blindly on this particular demand zone. I would want to wait for some further confirmations, which is like further confirmation, which is seeing my demand zone having like an inducement before the demand. So this was my confirmation. This was the inducement I had for the demand zone. I don't trade without seeing inducements. I don't take a trade without seeing inducements before my demand or before my supply zone. So this was the inducement before this particular demand zone. The price came all the way to the downside again. You can actually see price created another inducement. Inducement, for those that don't know what inducement is like a trap for early buyers and early sellers in the market. So like we all know what support and resistance principle is. Whenever the market is at a low, you buy. Whenever the market is at a high, you buy. Support and resistance. So this particular stuff you are seeing here is an inducement to this demand zone. So when price came back down all the way, you see like retail traders would want to like buy from this area, put their stop loss below this support. Then literally market started going to the upside, if you guys can see from here. Market tab started going to the upside, giving them profit, then all the way to the downside. Kicked their stop loss, mitigated on the actual demand zone all the way to the upside. So this was how I was able to capitalize on this move. So I'm willing to hold this trade up to like 300 pips in profits. As you guys can see, zero drawdown in this particular trade. So this is like the smart money concept. This is like the smart money concept where you try to indicate where the market is going to by trading the reversal, trading the reversals. So whenever market comes out with like this, or should I draw this? Okay, I think I should draw it here. Seeing price coming all the way to the downside like this, then unfortunately price came, broke this particular structure, started rallying to the upside. Price broke this structure again. We know that okay, the market has literally reversed and is going to the upside, targeting this previous highs. So what are we going to be looking out for? We're going to be looking out for the demand that actually caused the first break of structure, which is like this one. So we're going to wait for price to rally all the way. All of these are liquidities. So we're going to wait for price to rally all the way, clearing out all of those liquidities, then tapping on the demand zone, mitigating on the demand zone all the way to the upside. So this is like the reversal pattern, identifying when price has changed its character, when price has changed its trend, trying to go to the opposite direction. So this is how I was able to capitalize on this particular move that is actually running 123 pips in profits. It's a zero drawdown. The stop loss is just 20 pips. This is zero drawdown kind of trade. And here is, I'll show you guys like a proof on where I sent the trade to my Telegram community. So this is on AUD So guys, this is actually my Telegram community where I share the AUD trade. Here is actually the signal. The setup I dropped on my Telegram community. Possible lookout on AUD I gave it to the members, and when the trade started moving in profit. So here's the proof on AUD setup and analysis I sent. And I also do send other trading setups as well. So I just send them for them to learn. So I want to show you guys another. Basically, let's go to Eurocard. Here on Eurocard, you guys can actually see that the market has been ranging to the upside. It has been going to the upside for quite some time now. And let me mark out all of my demand zone because I trade only supply and demand. Here's the demand zone. Here's the demand zone. And here is also the demand zone. After seeing all of these demand zones, you know that this particular candle is also the demand zone. I'll show you guys the reason why I marked out all of this demand. This is actually the last candlestick that caused the break of the structure, rallied all the way to the upside that caused the break of the structure. and here's an inducement. So we want to see that, we want to see price dropping all the way to the downside for us to take a bias. So we want to take a bias from this particular area. We want to take our bias from this low, stop loss below, all the way to the upside, targeting these highs. Here, TP Smash 268 pips. Yes, this on this one. Then our demand zone, here's another demand zone. Now we can see that here's another demand zone, and we can actually see an inducement before the demand zone. Why did I mark this particular point as my demand zone instead of this area? This area was what mitigated this particular demand zone. So what do? I come to my Fibonacci, draw my Fibonacci all the way to the upside, then price at the 0.786 level. I can see that there's a demand zone there. So I just plot up my demand zone right around that area. Then I saw like an inducement, which is like a further confirmation for me to take that particular trade because it's an high probability trade. So I saw an inducement, break of structure, demand zone. We want to be buying from this particular demand zone. Wait for price to come all the way to the downside. Stop loss at the low. Take profits at the previous highs. You can see all the way TP Smart. So this on this one, and here on this other demand, here on this other demand zone, you can see that price rallied to the upside, created an inducement before this particular demand, all the way broke this structure, broke this structure. You guys can see price broke this structure, Here's an inducement. Here's an inducement to the demand zone, and I plot out my Fibonacci. You guys can see 0.786 all the way. There's a demand zone there, and literally there was like an inducement before the demand zone. So I put out my demand zone, took a trade off of that particular demand all the way to the previous highs. All the way to the previous highs, TP smashed. Then coming forward, here's another demand zone. Price rallied all the way to the upside, broke this particular structure. Here was the demand zone that caused the break of all of this structure, this particular structure here. Let me plot it out. Broke that structure. Price also broke the structure. Here's the initial demand zone. The last candlestick that caused the break of this structure and this structure. What do you do? And there's an imbalance here also. What do we do? We plot out the demand zone. Price came all the way to the demand. We take a trade from here, targeting these highs. Price came all the way to the demand. Tapped on the demand. Beautiful setup all the way. 170 pips. Yeah, so let's see it. 71 pips. All the way to the upside. So that's literally what I look out for whenever I come into my chart. Whenever I'm looking for a trade, I just try to mark out the most simplest concept of all, marking out your trend, knowing the trend of the market, where the market is actually going to on the higher time frame. Mark out your supply or demand zone. If the trend is going to the upside, I would want to put out my demand zone. If the trend is coming to the downside, I would want to spot out my supply zone. Three components, I would want to wait to see an inducement before the demand or the supply. If I do not see an inducement before the demand or the supply, I'm not going to take that particular trade. If I do not see an inducement before the demand or the supply, I'm not going to take that particular trade. Then four, I'd want to watch out for a clear break of structure. Whenever price breaks a structure, I'll know that, okay, the market is moving towards that direction. So I want to plot out my demand or my supply. So the four things I always look out for is trend of the market, clear break of structure, my
inducement and my demand zone or my supply zone. Further confluences might be in imbalance before that particular demand or that particular supply. So those are the basic things I always look out for whenever I come to my chart, trying to plot out all of my all of my lines, all of my zones and everything. The simplest way to actually figure out all of these things. I don't try to complicate things trying to look for all of the strategies, wanting to trade different indicators and everything. I just come simplest way, find the structure of the market. If the market break a structure, oh yes, it broke a structure, find my demand zone, look for an inducement before the demand or the supply zone. Then if there's an imbalance, that will give me further confirmation or further confidence to actually take that particular trade. So these are my principles on how I've been taking trades and I've been literally winning them. So I'm going to like show you guys a screenshot of the before the analysis I dropped on my group chat. Then after it started playing out. So that's it, guys.
So guys, that is it on how I literally catch all of these sniper entries in the forex market, how I make my analysis, how I keep it very very simple. Yeah, how I keep it very very simple, trying to make analysis. I don't try to complicate things for myself. I just want to like keep everything simple, do everything one step at a time, then take the possible trade setups. So if you guys love content like this, please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want like an analysis kind of video, please do make sure to comment so I would know what video to like drop next. And if you're not on my Telegram community, please do want to join my Telegram community because I literally do like send my trade analysis. I don't just send forex signals. I'd also want to like share my analysis for people in my community to actually have like a detailed explanation on what the market is actually doing, how the market is actually playing out, and possible lookouts on how you can literally analyze your chart very very well and very very neatly. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking to the end. I love you guys. Peace.